link set up for YouTube and copy. And this is ridiculous what you have to go through to do this. It's so nuts. Like, not saying that Riverside, like, you know, thank you for sponsoring the podcast, but this is crazy. All right, so do 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 do. Oh no, what the fuck? Anyway, copy. I feel like I'm a boomer with this now. Like I'm, just like, how the hell does all this technology work? And
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go full radical in what I'm about to say.
all right, don't listen. I got a copyright strike on my YouTube channel.
Really?
For I got two
Copy-
videos. I don't know. I
No,
might
no,
have been the
can we just
Cenk
start
Uger
from the start?
comment for
What's the
our
reason for
election
it?
live stream. Our election live stream kind of got off the rails. It uh and and send. Okay, great. All right. So now with that being done, all right, everybody, welcome to episode. I believe this is 9 of the Laydown area. I want to start off by saying that unfortunately today, whether you like Charlie Kirk or follow Charlie Kirk, I'm not the biggest watcher of Charlie Kirk. However, but he has been, I guess you can call it assassinated today, and has passed away. And I want to start off by saying, if we could have a short moment of silence, and then I would like to read a quote from Charlie Kirk before we get started. So, if you have a prayer or anything, go ahead. The quote I want to read from Charlie Kirk was from a Turning Point. I believe it was from a Turning Point rally where he said, and this is going to require a little bit of extra uh, attention put into this to understand, hopefully, where I'm trying to come from this. But a quote, what was said in regards to gun rights for Charlie Kirk is, I think it's worth it. I think that it's worth to have the cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our God given rights. And that is credit to Charlie Kirk. Why I read that is very important is the Second Amendment in America right now is both, I guess you could say, under attack, and then also being used against us. We are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. This is our Thermopylae, if you will. We are the last of the Spartans. We are holding the line, except we are getting attacked from both sides. Obviously, with the events of today, firearms are being used against us. Obviously, in politically motivated attacks. Nothing's been official, but it's easy to assume. And we are actively fighting lawmakers who are trying to take people's Second Amendment rights. With that being said, I'm opening up the floor to Kat or Ronnie if anybody wants to jump in and fire off anything that how they feel about today or whatever they're going
Well,
on about.
I'll go just straight into it. Just like I was saying
Yeah, you can go
before,
first, Ronnie.
the sense of anger is beyond. Like I teared up about this, and like I was telling you guys earlier, he's not someone. He's someone I found, kind of cringe, right? Like, not that I disagreed with him. It's just not my. I guess he just wasn't really speaking to me. Whatever, right? Nothing against it. Thought he was a great human being, great asset to all this stuff going on and whatever. But seeing him getting killed like that has brought a different kind of anger within me. And one of the things I was telling myself was like, I was thinking about that, like I was saying earlier, that podcast we did a long time ago, where I asked, when is enough enough? And I personally think enough is enough. You know, Trump was shot in the ear. We were angry, got pissed off. I think some people got radicalized, even myself to some extent. But I think this was like the final nail in the coffin kind of deal. This is going to bring out a lot of, there's going to be a lot more Charlie Kirks who are going to pop out now, and they're not going to be so nice. You know, they're going to be more people like myself who are more angry now, want an answer for what just happened, right? Like this man who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. I don't want to see him behind jail. I want to see him publicly hung. You know what I'm saying? I want to see every part of him suffer, because this is just, it just has to stop, and we have to make an example somewhere to end it.
I
This
will
whole playing
agree.
nice needs to, because
I
let me
will
ask you this,
agree.
like real quick before you get so, and I want to ask you guys this, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to sit here and claim like I know everything, and I am the smartest in these regards. I am not. I'm just a regular guy who sells cars. Like I don't know crap. Okay, but if I'm approaching this from the way I'm seeing it, I don't see anybody in the right going to the degree that these people have gone. I don't see us trying to eliminate their political candidates. I don't see them actually assassinating their candidates. I don't see them trying to get constantly trying to get these people fired. I don't see them do nowhere as remotely close as what these people do. And now I think on the right, that needs to come to an end and stop playing nice and stop being friendly. And now we got to play a little dirty. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because I think like the Republican or the conservative side or whatever, just obviously the opposite of the left. Like everybody's like, oh, take the higher road and this and that. It's like, where has that really gotten us?
Nowhere. Look where it's gotten us so far.
Yeah, and
Nowhere.
and literally a coward took away a father, took away a husband, all because that person disagreed with his views. And like to your point, Ronnie, we're not trying to kill the other side. We're not trying to cancel anybody. We're not trying to silence everybody. These people, they talk about gun control, but they're the ones with the guns killing people.
Like, look at these school shootings, bro. I'm so sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but if you look at these, there was another school shooting today. I don't know if you guys heard about it in Colorado. I don't know
Yeah.
if
Yep.
the details on it. And I want to find out more about it. I'm very curious to see who the shooter was, because there's like there's a trend with these people that are shooting up these schools and targeting particular groups of people. They're not conservatives.
Yeah.
No, I agree with what you said in the beginning, which was we need what I've been calling, well, not calling for, but talking about is accountability and responsibility. The I think, and a lot of this has been brought on and accepted, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but the right, whatever you want to call it, the conservative, MAGA, whatever, is typically pretty impotent when it comes to actually expressing our beliefs, whether that belief is right or wrong in the moment, is regardless. But we are largely impotent in getting that message across. And why I say that is somebody who I've been mildly listening to recently, who had a very good point, is Nick Fuentes. I'm summoning that thing into
No
the
wrong with that.
ether.
Listen to a
Is
lot of the stuff he says too. I gotta be honest, bro. He's right on a lot of things.
he had made a good point a while ago, actually, that I heard him say. Why is the Republican Party touring around with? I think his name is who's the gay guy? Uh, oh, his name just like evaporated. He's Dave Rubin. Like, why is Dave Rubin sharing the same stage with like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or like other people like Milo? I mean, these are conservative figures within our party, but like that's not really conservative values. We're supposed to be, mom and dad in the home, marriage, that kind of stuff. And a large majority, of, I wouldn't say a large majority, but a lot of single moms are also now looking, for, like, you see it on dating apps, is like conservative guys like, oh, now I'm looking for, whatever. There's we don't do a good job of enforcing our own beliefs. And I think that's what leads a lot of us to kind of getting trampled in these kinds of situations. Because quite honestly, Charlie Kirk, for better or for worse, I'm not like the biggest consumer of his media. I don't know why he felt that it was like, and I don't know the behind the scenes thing, this is just me speculating, but why the hell would you go to a college campus in California, of all places, and then walk straight in, head first, and sit down in front of like your enemy unprotected? I mean, his security team, that rushed to his aid, I'm sure they tried to do the best they could for him, kind of seemed disorganized. Like, you're mean to tell me you didn't call the police department to have like other people around? Because apparently security was very lax. And I'm not blaming Charlie Kirk when I say this, but like, you're going to you're going to your most mortal enemy's home, walking in the front door, and then just like plopping down on the couch, and then like just like, okay, I'm here. Like, we believe too much, I believe, in the ability of like people being nice. And to your credit, Ronnie, yes, there is a call for people to be less nice, but I'm not, again, I know this probably sounds like I'm blaming Charlie Kirk for this, but like, you went to the worst place that you could go. You're not changing anybody's mind in LA. There's nobody that's having a grand awakening. We just got this bus situation with this guy that stabbed that Ukrainian refugee. I mean, she fled from being bombed and God only knows whatever the hell going on in Ukraine, and she made it all the way to America, as what we call the land of opportunity, to get killed by some dude with a knife on a bus. And the other 6 people who were on the bus just sat there. They did nothing.
Well, let's take a step back on it, because somebody actually did try to do something, but unfortunately that girl bled out so fast.
I didn't see anybody
that's the only
attempt to
reason
do anything. Oh, okay.
Because there was a guy who came up and tried to help him towards the end. But unfortunately for her, it was just too late. And also point out again, circling back to all these Democrats and stuff like that, this guy should have been walking in the streets the first.
No, he had 14 prior convictions or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? And that comes from one particular group of people who think these people are okay to be released. Now, what they want to bring out too is like, Charlie Kirk being in Utah doing this speech and getting ultimately killed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was in California. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, Utah.
So with that being done, like, yeah, the security, I think about the security, like, I want to say, where the fuck were that? Why aren't they so disorganized, whatever it is? But to be quite honest, I mean, they do so many of these on a weekly basis, and it's wrong for them, not to justify it. They probably were a little bit more lax on it and didn't think somebody was going to be on a rooftop and pop them, And again, should probably be.
But it happened to Trump. It happened to Trump.
You talk about the president versus someone who's just a voice, right? I guess
you're a huge public figure. You're a tremendous public figure.
But here's the thing too: is like, he's going to these places, and I personally think that he is, he's having this open dialogue with people that disagree with him, and there's people who are just batshit crazy. But then there's people who, have different opposing views, and he speaks to, and you can see like he gets through to them to some extent. So I think it's been very effective. Clearly, how big his organization has grown, it's been effective. And as a matter of fact, I dare say that's why they killed him. It was too effective. They don't like how effective it was being. They don't like how he was getting people to see different, have that open dialogue and really lean towards the direction they didn't want. So what's better way to end that by cutting it off?
Well, I'm gonna, and this is maybe my own anecdotal experience, but I actually don't believe, not to say that Charlie Kirk is not an effective speaker or a good debater, but I think you underestimate on how galvanized some of these people are. I mean, I right before you got on, I was talking to somebody about mass shootings on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, young white men are the the majority perpetrators of mass shootings, and it's like, no. As soon as you take in gang violence, like it's blown out, like it's not even anywhere even close. Like and trying to articulate that point across is like, oh, you're not considering gang violence. Like a mass shooting, by per definition, is like what, 2 or 3 people die or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
illegal.
But like, you know, when you have hundreds of rounds with people running around with these switches or whatever, you know, shooting up entire neighborhoods, like, you know, that's a mass shooting. That's a mass shooting. That's gang violence. When as soon as you start to take in that aspect, it's blown out. There's no comparison. You know, there's nothing. So I mean, for Charlie Kirk, and you do need people to go out into the public to attempt to change people's minds, but like, I don't think it is as effective as a lot of us believe it to be, because we have the bias of like, oh, I already believe everything, you know, or generally speaking, what this person says. So like, it makes sense to me. But somebody who's radicalized in the other direction, hearing these points that he's making, are probably, it's going one ear and out the other. They're not
Well, that's
accepting to it.
but that's what I'm kind of disagreeing with, because the truth is, like, yeah, most majority of the people who are there listening and the people watching or tuning in are his followers, right?
Yes.
Like I said, I find him cringe in some ways, just because, yeah, just I guess stupid reasons, just different sets of
Yeah.
personalities and whatnot. But to the core of it, I agree with him 100%. You know, and a lot of most stuff, you know, and whatnot. So yeah, given I would listen to him, right? But the people, what I liked about his show, what he was doing is that the people were walking up onto the microphone weren't people disagreed. And yeah, there were some people who he said something, one ear out the other. It's gonna happen, right?
Yep.
But there is a core of people that have been changed over time. I mean, matter of fact, I want to even say, like, people like me, you know, if it wasn't because of some of these content that were out there, I probably wouldn't have been reached, because back in 2016, I didn't vote Trump. I thought he was a racist jerk off, because that's what everybody told me to believe. But guess what? I'm over here wearing MAGA hat and everything. You know what I'm saying? Getting pissed off if one of these people,
Yeah.
one of these people got put out. You know, so I think it's very effective. And if you look at the size of his organization, I am sure that a vast majority, not a vast majority, but a good amount of people who are going there were people who were completely on the opposite side, and that he reached and got them there, and now are doing what they're doing. Matter of fact, some of these people now might become radicals for this side because of what just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was very effective in what he was doing, and that's
Yeah.
why they wanted him gone. Because now with him gone, they just cut off something that for them was a crutch. Somebody who's reaching a target that they want to consume. You know, and
When I
that's
say, I
yeah,
want to clarify, when I say that he wasn't effective, no, he is very effective at speaking, and he was very good at debate. But when you win a debate, the other person doesn't walk away typically with a changed mind. Like, you look at a lot of, even who else is the other big debater? Like Ben Shapiro. You know, I mean, whatever with the whole Israel thing. But like, when he would go to these Turning Point or whatever other rallies that they would have, and he would get into these debates with people, a lot of these people walk away from the microphone with little or no, like, I guess you can call critical thinking skills to like, well, what the hell just happened? You know, my viewpoint has been shaken. You know, that takes me some time to think about this. No, you know, I mean, one of the most famous, I think, debates between Charlie Kirk and somebody else was, I don't know if you're familiar with the streamer Destiny.
yeah.
Destiny's been
Well,
on
I
many
was just thinking about it the other day.
channels.
I was like, whatever happened to him?
Well, he's kind of in a scandal right now, but you know, that's
Oh, see, I
that's a
haven't been
whole
on
other
it since.
thing.
Use another one.
He's another loon. But like, also too, you know, you have Hassan Piker, who's another person who radicalizes a lot of people, a lot of young people. If you watch some of his streams, he's nuts. You know, I mean, he was out there with the Luigi Mangione, which, you know, a lot of people, and don't forget, even a lot of people, even on the right, were out there not supporting Luigi Mangione, but like, I could see it because, you know, my grandpa had a problem and, you know, like he got denied health care. You know, I had this discussion with Chris Fishel on the last podcast that I did, was I think this set a dangerous precedent with so many people supporting Luigi Mangione's actions. Now you have this. It's like the next step. We've almost kind of like, this is obviously a very poignant thing against the right, but like I know, Kat, and I'm sorry for kind of blocking you out there, but a lot of people were in support of Luigi Mangione. I mean, we all seen it. It was on Facebook. A lot of people, not support, but like, I guess, empathized with his plight.
I mean, I don't know, dude. It was kind of difficult too, because it's like that just doesn't justify still to kill somebody in cold blood.
No, absolutely not.
But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like people's thought process. It's like I can't wrap my head around that.
Oh, sure. And maybe I'm kind of coming off of like very, I guess, I don't know, complex, like whatever, overtly complex, but you look at a lot of the memes from the time and you recall the atmosphere of the country at that time. There was nobody that was kind of like United Healthcare worker, you know what I mean? Like nobody was coming to their support. Yeah. And that was a problem. And now, we have this situation that happened today, and now it's a problem, which, I mean, obviously it is. It is a huge political it is a political attack against us, a major public figure, a major speaker. But I don't think that there's a way to unradicalize these people. And what I was going to say, what Ronnie was saying right in the beginning of the podcast, where he's like, we need responsibility. We need swift and severe action from the administration, like starting tomorrow, 7 a.m. Like we need to know what happened, how this happened, who the person is, like all these people who are on MSNBC. Like I watched something today that I believe somebody said.
Can I just interrupt? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I monologue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're great. Just real quick. I want to go and expand that, swift, decisive action from our government. Honestly, man, I think we're past that. I think people need to start making this decision. I think people need to start. And now, what does that look like? Well, I don't want to talk about it here, but I'm folded over to that place in life right now where I think people need to start, because government, unfortunately, this is where we're at, man. They really haven't done much, and I think that right now people need to start taking charge of their communities, need to taking charge of the schools, need to start taking charge of everywhere, just like the Democrats go out there and say all the time they're going to do. And they're actually doing it, causing fucking havoc out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
agreed.
I think right now, people need to wake up and start making the decision that we need to start making some of these decisions, start taking some sort of action, not stay quiet and just say, I'll pray for Charlie's family, and then call it a day. Tomorrow we're back watching football games.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No one's coming to save anybody.
Nobody's coming to save anybody. Government's not going to save us. People need to do this and take control of this themselves. We are people that we're supposed to be able. We're not supposed to have a government this big. We're not supposed to be controlled this much. We have allowed ourselves to get to this point, and we ourselves need to break ourselves out of this point. Now, do we have a good administration that can help us? Absolutely. I think we can, coexist and work together in a lot of things. But I think we, as people, need to really start, expanding. I guess expanding our boundaries. I'm trying to walk Trelly on here because I don't want you to get your other strike on here. But I think it's time for people to just show them what the fuck we're about and stop with this. I'm just gonna pray and call it a day and go back to life tomorrow.
I want to make sure that I get this right, so that God forbid we get hit, or I get hit with another copyright strike. I want to say this. This is what I'm trying to articulate, and to your point, Ronnie, like with the swift and severe, decisive action. This, I believe, and again, I want to make sure that I'm quoting this person correctly. A guest on the Katie Tur on MSNBC, who I don't know who that is, but apparently she's a
the person that said that shit. That it's like could have been a supporter to celebrate.
Yes, we don't know if it's a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. Now, right? This is it's disgusting. It's absolutely the most unhinged shit. When I seen it, I was like, that has to be AI. That's insane. What I want from the administration, like 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, is like lawsuits activated immediately for political, like, uh, I don't even know the right word to even, what to even call something like that. Not only are you actively spreading the most insane propaganda known to man, there's people who are galvanizing around that, who are like, to Ronnie's point, when you posted whatever that thing to the group chat, that picture of Charlie Kirk, like, these people are galvanizing around the celebration of somebody that we've I guess our side is lost. Why are we? Why is the administration allowing that to happen? I understand free speech. I do. And as somebody who like supports free speech absolutism and Second Amendment absolutism, we might need to go do something about that. You know, that's what I would like to see.
I think also though, Doug, there's a difference between freedom of speech and there's a difference between propaganda.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
And that's propaganda.
Yeah.
When you're intentionally releasing that kind of information to radicalize for a means to an end, or like an agenda.
Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
That's propaganda, and that needs to be dealt with. I think it was, and I gotta look to see what executive order was, but I've been reading that Obama, I think it was in his second term, like he signed an executive order, but wrapped inside that executive order was basically legalizing the media to release propaganda to people. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
I mean,
doubt it if that's entirely true, but it's just, I feel like, I mean, shit's gone down the hellhole like for a while now, but I just feel like it's gotten more intense when Obama took office.
No, I think that Obama was probably the first well, not the first president. Probably that I have to give credit to George W. Bush for radicalizing the country, because I mean, we did enter Afghanistan for literally no reason.
Yeah, 100%.
But
I agree with that.
But Obama shortly after took those reins and like rode that thing into the stratosphere with like the famous picture of him with the black, like the fist in front of the window, the whole thing, and like, you know, the George Floyd thing. Like it's just, the country was radically in a whole different direction going during those 8 years. But I mean, I think, you know, again, not to summon Nick Fuentes, you know, but our country has been at war with itself with a lot of these CIA operations, with these like controlled hangouts and all this other stuff, where it's like, you know, these radicalized people are on, say, like Facebook groups or Discord groups, and you have an asset in there that culls these people in. They throw a big net over them. They all pull them in. They become like hyper radicalized. And, you know, what happened to Black Bloc? What happened to Antifa? You don't see these people anymore. These were cultural flash in the pan operations that were obviously not organic in any means. I mean, you can't even get 10 people to show up for a fucking sale at a ShopRite.
That was funded by George Soros.
Yeah, so you have operations like that, and then you have, again, stuff like this, where it's like, you know, our government is at war with itself. It's almost like we're every time that we proceed one step forward, we're stepping on a bear trap and then stepping back and then getting into another bear trap. We're stuck. I saw a post from Sam Hyde, who's like kind of like a quasi comedian person, thinker. I do like, I don't know if you know who Sam Hyde is, but we'll talk about it after the show. But you know, Sam Hyde had posted a very important tweet that I think was pretty prevalent to what was going on. Is, if you really are the people that the left thinks you are, now is the time to seize power and get this shit under control. This insanity needs to end. You need to get in charge. And like tagged, I think it was like Pete Hegseth, JD Vance, and a bunch of other people in it. Like, if you are really in control of the government, this is political violence that we've we've seen political violence before, but I think seeing it in this way, where like this was an assassination, this was a clear cut politically motivated thing. Well, what are we doing about it? And right now, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're doing much.
Dude, it's like honestly, the previous administration emboldened criminals. I mean, people
Yeah.
saw that there was no consequence to your actions. And a lot of these people on the left, they just love to play victim all the time. They like to see no wrong. And
Yeah.
there's a quote, I'm gonna find it, that I saw online that I'm like, damn, dude. It literally describes what's going on in these people's minds. But you can continue. I need to follow. I need to find that quote and then I'll continue my
Sure.
piece.
I am hesitant to give the government that much power to start inflicting a level of control that would be, I guess, hard for the government to let go. That is so. Like, I want to make sure that when I say, like, hey, we need some kind of accountability, but like these news channels, I mean, even Fox News is like, they're very much in the right, but like Fox News is rather milk toast for conservative news. And not to mention, I don't like, without Ronnie messaging us, I would have not known for at least another hour, because I didn't see anybody post. CNN was like 22 minutes late to the party. Like, as it was all happening, it was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what, like, oh yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, what?
Yeah. No, I just opened up my Instagram, just casually scrolling because it was dead at work. And then I just opened it and then I saw the graphic video of Charlie and I'm like, I just literally put my hand over my fucking face. I'm like, dude, what did I just look at, man? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? Yeah, I was like super late to the party too. It's wild. And really quick, because I found that post. It says the most dangerous people I've ever met genuinely believe that they're good. They rewrite every story, dodge every consequence, and carry zero accountability. In their minds, they've never hurt anyone, but somehow everyone else is always to blame. That kind of delusion isn't just toxic, it's terrifying.
Agreed.
It better, honestly.
Agreed. I would say that the person who apparently is still at large, I know Kash Patel came out and said that they got somebody.
Yeah, I heard that they got somebody. Obviously the old man, I don't know why they got him in the first place. I originally thought that was the guy and then they said that it wasn't. I don't know, that part's confusing.
There's a lot of confusion, and unfortunately we don't have our ex partner that is decided to run off and fight with people on Facebook, but like, who should be on Twitter right now. This is what we need to be updated. But like, I look at the current situation, even with the no news, of like, well, who is this person? What is their political affiliation? Is this a anti-Palestine or because I believe Charlie Kirk is kind of like a pro-Israel kind of guy, I think.
That was like the one thing about his content that I actually had beef with.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
so is this a trans thing? Is this a race thing? Is this a Palestine thing? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Like, it's just really what I want is like a full fucking breakdown. Where did this kid grow up? Who was in touch with him within the last like 2 years? Like, I want to know a breakdown of everything, because I still believe that MK Ultra is a separate entity. And I get it that Trump's been in office for almost a year, but the way that this government, and I could be seeing this completely wrong, but the way that this government is completely bloated and it just has tentacles in places where you wouldn't even think it does. It's like there's probably shit that he's still uncovering. It's the tip of the iceberg, right? And like, and Dan Bongino, I do have my beef with him because of the whole shit, along with Kash Patel. But like when he posted that, he's like, man, like he was very close to quitting the FBI because he's like, damn, the shit I've seen, I will never be the same again. So it's like, what stuff? I mean, Trump can only be in so many places, right? He's basically the general manager of a business and he's overseeing it. Like at work, there's probably stuff that your GM doesn't know about, right?
Oh, sure.
So that's where I'm coming from on this. So
well, Trump unfortunately has the responsibility of not only fighting 2 wars that are current, like we're not at war, thank God yet.
Shit like Ukraine and
Ukraine. He's got Israel. There's this looming Iran. Trade war with China, Iran. All this other stuff. So like Jeffrey Epstein unfortunately kind of gets thrown off to the side. It's a hot topic for a lot of the people who are conservative because it's like, well, who's on this list? Which I believe like everybody is.
I think like everybody is. And like to touch on that real quick before we change the subject. So it's like, for me, I'm waiting to see how everything all unfolds because it's just like with the whole Epstein shit, there's just so much crap that's going to come out. I even saw something about like Alex Jones saying that like Trump made a deal with the deep state to pursue his agenda in peace. If he keeps it quiet, that still doesn't make it any better at all.
No.
But I'm just saying, it's like, what's really going on? That's why I'm just sitting back to see how everything plays out, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think
for the record, I genuinely want to know what the fuck is going on with the Epstein.
Oh, me too.
I think that'll literally collapse the government, in my opinion.
I think if I was forced to give an opinion on what the Epstein files are, I think it was a very, very well coordinated, multi-country honeypot dragnet style operation that brought in people from all over the world. Some people, as I had said before a long time ago, me and you are having a meeting, and your friend Travis, whoever Travis is, just pretend, goes like, oh, where are you going after this? Oh, I'm going to Singapore to go to my next meeting. Oh, I know a guy that's got a plane, we can borrow. He just lets me borrow, I'll fly you over there so that way you don't got to take, business class or whatever. You get on this plane. This is how rich people like live. It's like a taxi for them. Like, oh yeah, this is really cool. You're on the fucking list. You never went to the island. You have no idea. You're caught in implication. And I think the government has a good interest in who's in that list so that the government can kind of control a lot of companies, because who are rich people usually affiliated with, or rich people themselves, people who own companies. We own 10% of Intel now. We're going to make Intel, maybe not profitable, but we're going to make Intel work. We're going to start making chips, and we're going to get out of Taiwan and, Amazon, because they're not just a delivery company. They also do shit for like drones and shit. They have AWS, Amazon Web Services, Apple, same thing. They're tied into a lot of military contracts. Google's tied into a lot of military contracts. Our interests are very much aligned in keeping this list private to ourselves, of like a form of control. Like, we know that you're on the list. You're going to do what we want you to do. So, I mean, as much as everybody wants this list, I don't think it's ever going to come out. I really don't. I think that the government will do everything it can to remain control over people who were on that plane, whether they were affiliated or not. Yeah. That's my belief.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool of control, that's for sure. And I think it's really, Israel's is a huge contributor to that. I think the Mossad really is.
Oh yeah.
Been keeping this whole operation alive. You guys haven't seen the Epstein series by Candace Owens? Please fucking listen to it. And then also I do want to recommend a couple reads. I'm still in it, but One Nation Under Blackmail, Volume 1 and Volume 2, definitely a great read.
Is that Whitney Webb?
Whitney Webb. And then also
yeah.
Chaos. It's a great read too. Talks about MK Ultra. And then also another fucking book. Literally these 4 books literally it's gonna make all sense to you. Hollywood Babylon, why Hollywood was created. Like, all this shit just ties in together. Like you read those books, man, it's gonna open your eyes to a lot of things.
Hollywood, not to digress off onto the Hollywood thing, but I totally agree.
And really quick though, I just want to share like short version of a story. Years ago when I lived in Miami, I had a mutual, well, I would say like an acquaintance through a friend. So she is really a he and was an escort or is still. Okay. So yeah. So
wait, it's a
trans.
Yeah, but what it's a escort as a man or an escort presenting itself as a woman?
An escort presenting himself as a woman. And
okay. I was gonna say, boy, that's an odd.
Let me tell you something, bro. Like his plastic surgeon, I really gotta shake his or her hand because literally they did great work. But anyway, that's besides the point. My point is, Doug.
Yeah, it's Beverly Hills 90210 right here. Okay. So, yeah.
It's Miami, but the stories that she would share and like really the gist of it, that's why I want to keep a short version. What she said was 90% of her client, and I'm saying her because it's really him, but it's like, 90% of her clientele, they were all politicians that were in the closet about being gay, had a wife, had children, and like he wanted to fully transition as a woman, completely cut it off, everything. But the whole reason why he still hasn't done it is because that's what they prefer. My whole point is by saying this is just like a lot of these people, they're fucking sick individuals. The thing is like when you have all that money and power, like a normal person wouldn't think like that, right? But like people that like have all this power, probably people that were best example, like Bill Gates, he was probably a fucking nerd when he was in school, has all this money and power. And now he's like trying to play God with like all these fucking vaccines. And we all know he was in the fucking Epstein Island banging kids. We all fucking know that. But that's just my whole point with this too. It's like a lot of these people with power, they're fucking sick. So.
Oh,
I left you guys speechless.
No, no, Kat, I want to acknowledge some of the people who are in the chat. Ronnie, by the way, you commented into the live chat for the people in the live chat, not our chat, but hey, look, we all make mistakes. Kat, you have an admirer for your dog. Somebody's like, nice dog.
Oh yes. The reason why he's on here is literally because he's macchiato.
Oh god.
So if I don't carry him, he's just gonna bark, and yeah, that's why Maki's here. So.
That's beautiful. But thank you for everybody that's in the live chat. I just happened to notice, looked over, I'm like, what is this bouncing icon? Like people are like in there, and I'm like, okay.
What's even on? I'm like, what are you talking about? Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was the studio chat.
Hey, look, we got people watching. It's beautiful.
Well, the good thing is I didn't say nothing crazy. I mean, everything I say, I'll say it on screen. So.
Yeah. Well, that's hilarious. I'm like, I just open the chat and it's people talk about whatever, and then there's Ronnie, and it's like my kids need me. It's like, thank God Ronnie's in the chat.
I honestly thought that DH Bambi was you for some reason. And then
oh my God, that's beautiful.
I didn't connect the dots. I just saw the letter D thinking Doug. So I'm like, oh
yeah, that's okay. Hey, that's what it is. But what to kind of piggyback. First, I want to address what Kat said, so that I actually don't doubt that in the least, because I think it was who was the crippled the guy in the wheelchair in Congress before it got voted? Was that Madison Hawthorne?
Yeah.
He had a viral tweet that was like the cocaine parties and like the women on the boats
and shit, like strippers, something like
yes. That. And then there was that picture that came out during the Biden administration of that dude of the in the I think it was either the House or Senate chamber that was like naked on the table or whatever, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like some staffer. So like, I don't doubt that at all, that like these people who are in these centers of power are like complete freaks. You know, I don't doubt that at all. But one thing that is I guess not so much tied into Charlie Kirk, but like the potential surrounding situation that I want to address with actually you, Ronnie, if you can get off Twitter or X or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I am.
Actually, stay on there. I want to know what's going on, what people are talking about. But I had gone to a shooting comp earlier this year, I believe, and it was a bigger comp. It was probably, I don't know, maybe about 120 something people there, and at the they kind of do a thing afterwards, like for the people who won or whatever, and they got like a raffle and stuff for everybody that comes in. I happened to notice that there was some I don't know what you could call it, individuals that were inside with us, and I was like, oh, that's fucking really weird. Like, you know, these there's a they them a man that's presenting themselves as a woman.
Oh, you had someone
like you could visibly see it. Like it's they obviously did not have this Miami surgeon, and there wasn't just one. There was about 6 of them, and I was like, "What the fuck are they doing at a shooting comp?" And a bunch of guys that I was sitting with were kind of poking fun and like, you know, like because like they were acting kind of strange, and the match wrapped up and we left, you know, and never really thought about it since. And with this, with the new wave of prevalence with trans shooters, whether it be at this church thing or that other school, you know, it is odd that, you know, we're allowing these people in, I guess, our traditional spaces. You know, you don't see a lot of progressives take on shooting sports as a recreational activity, you know, but seeing what I saw with these trans people was a little odd. It's almost like, you know, like I said, like we're not enforcing our values. There was nobody that was there, you know, because these people obviously are not politically in line with us. Like they're, you know, I know there's Blair White, who's I believe a man that's transitioned to a woman that is Republican or conservative to a degree. But like, why are we allowing these people in our spaces, our cultural centers?
We shouldn't. We should put an end to that right the fuck now. Because you know what, bro? This again, with the risk of, sorry, man, for if any strikes come, but these people do not need to be in these groups. These people are a problem. They're mentally not there. You know what I'm saying? Like they are not there, and now they're gonna come to these competitions and they're gonna do training or whatever. And people can say, "Yeah, Second Amendment. Yeah, I get that," but I just personally think that they're just not right in their head. They're not right to have a wet firearm, you know. But who am I to judge? I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I am. I'll say it like this: I am a 2A absolutist. I believe that there should be no restrictions on gun rights. However, I as much as I think that the average American should be able to walk in and buy whatever firearm they choose, I am hesitant to allow everyone to do that. You know, obviously, you know, it is your God-given right and part of the Constitution. And part of this was the previous podcast that I had with Chris, is we're allowing people who are our now you could even say like political enemy access to the things that can kill us. I've seen it online recently, and I'm sure probably Ronnie, you've seen the same post. Is like, you know, the Trump administration is potentially thinking about putting the transgender people on the whatever the DSMC, whatever it is, to not be allowed to own firearms. Like they have a mental condition, they're not allowed to own firearms. I think that this is a long overdue thing. You know, I mean, now granted, there's always going to be a way to get around your state and national background check system. I mean, every day somebody is buying or selling a gun who they are not the intended buyer. That happens frequently. But I think what we have here is a situation where the administration can do another thing of like, okay, if you have a mental illness, like whatever it is, like transgenderism is no longer accepted as like a natural thing that like people phase or whatever. It's a mental illness. You are not able to own a firearm. Like if you want to transition, it's the same thing with people who get the marijuana card. You know, in the state that I live in, you can't own a firearm and have that card at the same time. It's just not possible. We, you know, we have to kind of do that with other parties. Or that's my belief.
I agree. I don't disagree whatsoever. I got all these shoes behind me. Hold on. Scooch over a couple of my shoes. uh, I agree with you. I don't disagree whatsoever. You know, and but something like yours, something has to change because this is getting wild. I'm trying to search up the shooting in Colorado because now with all this going on, I'm very curious talking about this whole subject, who the shooter was.
Well, again, I don't think we don't have an answer for the Charlie Kirk situation, and I think honestly, you know, to be frank, like you know, and I know this is probably a somewhat black pill uh, belief to have is we still don't even know what really happened in Butler. This guy was flying a drone and
Yeah, we
like you know he
don't.
had two cell phones. Like we have no idea, and that's largely been forgotten. You know this other individual that shot up this church. You know, again, there's very little to no information. Like where did this person come from? I mean, anytime that Nicholas Cruz famously was I believe that was Parkland. Uh, I believe that was a school. You know, I could be wrong. We knew everything about Nicholas Cruz within like a half hour. As soon as they caught him at the restaurant or wherever he was getting lunch after the shooting, we knew everything about him. I mean, there's a channel on YouTube that literally has his interrogation video where they had him in and the cops were talking to him. I've never seen that for any of these trans shooters. I've never seen it for any of like people who are doing like gang violence. Like none of it. Like why are we not getting any of this information?
Sorry, guys. I'm still searching up the Colorado school shooting.
Well, what's going on with that?
I'm trying to figure out who the shooter is. I don't think they've announced it yet because I'm just curious. Because back to this whole thing, like I'm still caught up. You understand? Like I'm still caught up in this whole situation because all this is connected to one place, right? And right now, it's 4 people dead. I think that's include 4 people, 3 students shot. That's not including the shooter, which I think the shooter is dead. But I am sure it's going to be one of those psychopaths. I don't have to really specify. But I'm still looking it up. So if I have more information, I'll give you guys.
That's crazy.
What has the dog got now?
Honestly, cannot imagine being a parent, bro. Like,
I think if you're a parent, the best thing you could do is homeschool your kids.
Homeschool.
Honestly, I 100% cyber school your kids. There's no redeeming. You need a radically
Yeah.
radical culture shift to happen inside. And again, this is going back to liberals and progressives are actively in their school district. They're active inside their job.
That's what I was saying earlier. I'm so sorry, Doug. That's what I was saying
No,
earlier.
go ahead.
Like, yo, these people are radicals, bro. These people are loud. These people are causing havoc. These people are taking lives. These people are trying to take lives. You know, they're in there. They're in the schools. They're in every single part and place you can think of. Okay.
Well, they're at your job. They're
everywhere.
It's called human resources. They're literally everywhere. They're literally everywhere.
Or if not, they're the ones calling your job trying to get you fired just because you thought something
Yes.
different from them.
Well, that's also your company not having a backbone to simply tell somebody like we're not going to fire somebody. It's very rare.
Doesn't matter.
But they
the
won't.
point is that they're still doing it.
Oh, 100%. No. But the first company that faltered, the first company that failed to protect their employees and go like, hey, wait a minute, whatever this guy says on Twitter, that's their thing. This person's here to do a job and go to work. The first company that faltered and failed on that caused a cascading effect for every single company that's come post that with anything. And a company will throw you under the bus immediately if you become a public figure for a controversial reason. They will throw you under the bus. They will ruin your life. Nobody will hire you. Your life is effectively over. McDonald's won't even hire you.
I mean, like somebody that used to work for corporate America, let me tell everybody like let me spit free game right now for everybody that's still working in corporate America. HR is nothing more than a legal advisement team that advises upper management and protects upper management. The morning, you would think that it's that they're there to protect whoever's right, correct? Whether if it's the manager, whether if it's the associate, whether if it's upper management, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it's a legal advisement team. They're there to protect the company. They're not there to protect you. And those exit interviews, they're trash. They're literally going to use anything and everything against you. And they'll mark you as a disgruntled employee. Like it's literally to protect the company. It's not to protect anyone else. I can tell you this because I saw it firsthand with the last company that I worked with. I mean, and honestly, like every other company that I worked with, but the last one, I'm not going to mention names for like legal reasons, but that was by far the worst one I've ever worked for. Like the person you had an issue with, like you would have that interview with like the HR person or, like the superior, and I saw that person literally go to upper management and say everything, and then later they strategized a plan to either get you out or somehow de-escalate the situation, but ultimately it would lead to the person not working less hours, frustrating the person, I don't know, just basically giving the person every reason to quit. And the thing is, like, if you're not happy where you're at, the best thing you can do is leave. Just leave. Because HR, when they get involved, somebody's getting fired. And I can guarantee 90% of the time, it is not going to be the person that you have an issue with if it's upper management. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. And a lot of that is what is at the moment culturally acceptable inside of if you're political at all on the internet, and your employer becomes aware of anything that you say, you are putting yourself like you're putting yourself in a position where somebody from HR, you won't believe what Miss Mary said, and you are gonna be gone.
Exactly, and that ties into the whole point that I was making. They do not separate their personal emotions or feelings or biases from the situation. Nobody is neutral.
No.
So
no, and I think.
Oh wait, hold up.
If
Trump
now more.
Give me one sec. I don't know if you guys see this, but Trump is doing a speech on this whole thing with Charlie Kirk.
Oh, really?
Right now, where is it at? I can pull it up.
I'm
on
seeing
YouTube.
It on Tim Pool right now. Hold on.
Oh, Tim Pool's doing it. Let me pop over to YouTube here. We can do. Okay. Yep. All right. Hold on. Let me
start it from the beginning if you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Hey, Tim. Whenever you're ready to have me on the show, I would love to be on. Okay, everybody ready?
Play it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, just about 10 minutes ago, published this. Let's play it.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight
You could tell he was sad.
And loved him are united in shock and horror.
You could see it in his eyes.
The patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals.
Good that he's saying
This kind
Yes.
of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others.
Damn, he's going
Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
I just want to say,
That's enough out of you, Tim. Thank you. Before I give, now that I've seen that, before my take on it, what are your guys' take on that?
On the speech.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but his eyes weren't their normal Donald Trump eyes. You know, like I mean, it's obvious they're knowing each other for some time. You know, so you can see how sad it was. I think this is a turning point where there's just no going back. You know, I think I'm seeing him talk on there just with his facial reaction, and then I'm looking at everybody's reaction on just Twitter itself, like what people are saying, or on Facebook. I'll tell you what, man, that was a shot that was heard across the world, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just left out of know, man. I don't know.
It's just like I agree with Ronnie, like what he's saying. I think Trump is like shaken to his core about that, because like how he mentioned in the speech, he brings up the attempt on his life. You know, I think that was kind of like a grave reminder of what could have happened to him. And I think that shook him to his core. And I think, again, to Ronnie's point, this is like a turning point really in this country. And like Trump ain't stupid. I think he has people on the ground. Like there's people that are close to, like, for example, like Andy Frisella, and of course other voices that are on the ground that understand what people are thinking. And it's like people are calling for radical accountability, man. Like there needs to be like public executions. Like there needs to be harsh punishment for criminals like this. The last administration emboldened all these fucking criminals. They think they could just do anything without consequence. And that's not the case anymore. It shouldn't even have been the case, to be honest. But here we are. And so unfortunately, you know, somebody was taken away from us real too soon. kids lost a father, a wife lost a husband. The guy was a big voice. And honestly, like, I mean, I followed his content. I wouldn't say that I consumed it every single day. I mean, I had my disagreements in regards to Israel, but it's like now after this, like I'm starting to, I knew that he was a big voice, but I felt like after today, it's like his voice has gotten so much bigger, and it's probably even bigger than what I even have thought of, or probably what anybody would have thought of. Like the internet right now is flooded. Like even though even people that didn't digest his content, it's like, bro, this is not okay. There needs to be consequence. It's like this can't be a banana republic anymore. There needs to be consequence and radical reform to the justice system, and harsh punishment for these criminals, because this isn't okay just because you don't agree with someone's opinion. And like also to add to that, I think that the mainstream media needs to be held accountable, because the reason why we're here as a country, the reason why like mentally, it's literally a mentally unstable person that does shit like what happened today. You know, like the mainstream media radicalizes people like that. A normal person wouldn't listen to that shit and be like, man, let me go ahead and kill this person today. On what grounds? This guy was spreading the word of God. Of course, he was talking about like abortion. He was also talking about conservatism and, you know, like, you know, the word of God and shit, among other things. And of course, like his political opinions. You know, it's like, how I just don't understand how that justifies him to have been killed just because you don't agree with them. It's like that's what I'm saying. I feel like this speech really is like there's no turning back, to Ronnie's point. And honestly, I really do hope that Trump takes like radical reform when it comes to criminal punishment, because this is not going to sit well. I literally think that this gave the conservatives ammunition even more. I think honestly, like this secured the midterms. Quite frankly, I think that what happened to Trump in, I think it was 2024, yeah, that that's literally what solidified the elections to go Republican trifecta. I think that's literally what radicalized people to that. And I think this is going to radicalize people into the midterms. But again, it's like we can't just go back to normal. So I'm really hoping that with this speech that his intention is radical accountability.
We can't go back to normal. This is it. And this is not, it just can't be from government. It's got to be from people.
Like his death, like
these people are fucking sick. Like right now, as I'm listening, I'm also, as you guys can tell, I'm
power ever again.
What?
These people cannot gain.
Never again. No, it's over. It needs to be over now. Forcibly over. Look, right now, like I'm going through all these back and forth through all these messages. That's why I'm like looking down and back, because I'm just curious more and more people's reaction. One of these comments I read from someone here, from somebody I know who shared something. She was like, he was despicable man that preached hatred for all except white men. Sadly, there would be plenty to take his miserable place. I've never in my life felt happy someone died, unlike MAGA. Like we cannot be coexist. That's it. We cannot coexist whatsoever. Because it's just one out of the many posts that are out there right now. Just like the picture I showed you before. There's no coexisting. There's no being friends. There's no being, and it sucks because nobody wants to. I don't want to separate from us family members. I never tried to, but now I don't care. You know, it's gone.
Every single point that you guys brought up is the exact reason, and I know this is gonna fucking be controversial here, and I'm gonna take a beating. Every single point that you guys just made is exactly why I did not like that response. None of those things were addressed. None of them. We lost a political figure, and yeah, absolutely, it's fucked up. It shouldn't have happened. What are we doing about it? Not a thing. We're not holding anybody accountable who's on the news, who's like, oh, you know, it was a celebration shot from somebody, or people who are like this, who are celebrating the death of a political figure. None of these things that are out there right now that people we're not, Facebook isn't dumping their information like what they were dumping on not on us, but January 6th. All these tech companies were dumping DMs and files. Enrique Tarrio went to jail and wasn't even in DC for January 6th. None of this shit is addressed at all. It's all just like, hey, you know, this is why when I said in the beginning of this podcast, the right wing, unfortunately, and is a terrible black pill. I'm sorry, is largely impotent when it comes to actually doing something. Sam Hyde is correct. If you are really in power and you are in charge, do something. Now is the time to hold the news and everything accountable, because right now, hey, we got him allegedly. We don't know anything about him. We don't know his affiliation. Nothing. We got him. Okay, wrap it up. It's Wednesday. It's Thursday.
That's what pisses me off, because that's what's going to happen, bro. This is done. Now we're back to normal.
That's why,
business. We're back to normal business as every single day. But no, I don't. For me personally, that's not sufficient. I need people to answer for this. You know what I'm saying? This is it. People need to answer. I want this to be dark now. I don't want no fucking light over this. I want this to be pure fucking savagery. That's what I want, even if that's a word.
Yeah.
What I'm calling for is not inhumane. I want to make that clear. I don't want.
Bro. Honestly, I don't. Dock me all you guys, anybody wants. I don't care no more. This is it. This, bro. We've allowed people come over our border to harm our country. Granted, we've done.
Yes.
We've allowed this. We've had our own people suffer. Our own people die. Our own people can't even afford basic necessities because we allow all these people in and all these fucked up policies. We allow. Now we're seeing we're seeing people get killed. We're seeing people getting dealt with in ways that just like it's wrong. No, right. It can't be. We got the guy, he's in custody. Here, we're gonna full justice. No, I don't want that. I want to see that dude suffer. I want to see these people get removed from House, get removed from Senate, and get people who actually have American values to sit there so we can run a country the way it should and not deal with these tyrant pieces of shit that we have to deal with.
Unfortunately, Ronnie,
it's not gonna happen.
This is no different than the people who hire illegal immigration. ICE comes in, they get everybody in the warehouse or whatever they are out, and then the company owners or the warehouse owner comes around and goes, "Give me 20 more," and they come right on back.
But that's
it's a new group.
So, you know what?
We don't hold the right people accountable.
Exactly,
the people who let that guy who killed that girl on that bus, that person needs to go to jail too.
Accountable.
Yes. Put
that piece of shit to death too. But deal with the people who let this happen. That young girl should be alive right now. Charlie Kirk should be alive right now. Yeah. These people don't want that. Bro, like I'm scouring through social media right now, and the amount of people I'm saying are saying these crazy stuff. Like you cannot there's nobody in this world right now that can sit down and convince me that we could coexist with these people. It's just not going to happen. And a lot of people, are not afraid of, and I'm seeing this on X right now. A lot of people are saying this, like right now, actually first post from a pretty big page on X right now. What does it say? I want blood. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people I feel that way. And this is the problem. Like, how many people are going to be passive? Like, I know me personally, I already reached out to appropriate channels to start getting involved in stuff and really start being loud in my community. But how many people are really going to do the same? Majority of people are just going to see this, talk about it, and then that's it. Back to their normal day life, busyness with work and everything else. And I get it. I work a lot of hours. My job is dependent on me being present all the time, making money. If I'm not there, I'm not making money feeding my family.
No, agreed. Yeah,
so I'm going to suffer as a result of this. Yes, but to me, this is more important because without this country, my kids have no future. So if I'm going to give my kids a future, well, you best believe I'm going to need to do what I need to do to make things right in this country. And right now, in this country, things to get right, these people need to be removed by all means necessary.
Agreed. I have no problem with anything that you said. Okay, now we got to do it.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
It's only a problem if you let it be a problem. Because like I just said, like right now, there's a guy that I know, won't share his name on here. He works very closely with the Republican Party up in Pennsylvania. He got me involved when Mastriano was running for governor over here.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, remember when I was going through that? I was working with that, and then I stopped. But I reached out again. I want to be involved. I want to get involved in the school board with the school board with my kids. I want to, because there's some liberals in there that don't need to be in there. There's no more playing nice for me. For me personally, I'm gonna be very vocal. I'm gonna be rude and disrespectfully. I'm gonna say anything I need to say. I have no
I think
problem with
honestly,
but that's me.
I
I
agree.
can't account for the millions of people out there who are saying the same thing, who are saying, I want blood. Oh, it's time for this, it's time for that. Okay, cool. Come next week. What do we do? I really thought about it. Life, just been busy.
When
You know what I'm saying?
when
Like I hope this is not just a phase. You know what I'm saying?
when Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd's back, and regardless of how George Floyd died, it's irrelevant at this point. We had riots in 3 hours from the moment that he died that night. Kenosha, I believe, was Wisconsin, was set ablaze. Like there was war in the streets. Nothing. There's no. We don't. I'm not calling for any of this to be very clear. I'm not calling for any of this. But what I'm saying is that the visceral reaction of the right is to typically do nothing. We don't do anything. And I think that's a large problem. Yes, you should get involved with your school board, and yeah, you should speak your mind 100%. And I know going forward that I'll use my own situation of if I see these people who are coming into shooting events or anything else, I'm gonna voice my opinion. Like, hey, look, whoa. Like we can't have this here. This is not, do you want to do your own thing? You got to do it over there. We're not accepting to these principles and viewpoints
Honestly,
that you have.
I think Trump needs to go full dictator now. Fuck it. I never thought these words would come out my mouth.
No, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Nah, man, I'm going that radical, man. I'm going that. No, I'm just joking, but
yeah.
Like I get it, but
no, but essentially, man, I really hope this really makes him stand up to a way we've to such an aggressive level. Because in my eyes, Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk was Donald Trump's friend. And I know if you're gonna take my boy out like that, I'm gonna raise all kinds of fucking hell. And I know Trump is not a soft man. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like, we all know that
no.
about Donald Trump. He's not a soft man.
We have our tentacles in so much shit. And I'm gonna wrap this episode up because I'm like starving because I've eaten like 700 calories all day. But I'm looking at the situation and we have contractors in Ukraine, we have contractors in Israel, we're all over fucking Africa, we're in some kind of shadow war in the South Pacific around Taiwan with China. We're in a trade war, which is a good thing. Tariffs are a good thing if you have actually a trade or investment inside the economy. Tariffs are very good. We need to focus on us. This right now is America's time. Like I've said this before, I believe on this podcast, is like America's time, the second term of Trump. We need to now focus on us. We got to pull in all of our shit, all of our toys. Don't worry, the world will be there. Russia knocking off Ukraine is not going to be a big deal. Israel or whatever the fuck happens over there is not that big of a problem. Iran, if they win against Israel, it's largely irrelevant. We need time to heal ourselves because clearly with so many different tentacles out in the world that we're always constantly getting involved in, we've lost control of ourselves. This is an internal problem. Clearly, at no point has this ever happened since obviously Trump almost getting assassinated, but like this level of political violence. I mean, even Abraham Lincoln, this is a very planned, coordinated situation that occurred today. It whether or not it was somebody on a roof, which all the details we're missing on, we need time to bring ourselves in and look at ourselves and go like, what are we as a nation? Are we a banana republic, as Kat said, or are we? What are we doing? Because it seems like we're largely misguided within ourselves. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys fire off whatever you want to say for the rest of the podcast, and then we're gonna wrap
I
up
think
here.
I've said more than enough already.
Kat, it's all you. It's all you to send us out. No pressure.
Damn, I feel like total pressure. No, because I mean, like I've said all I can say. I mean, I don't know, bro. We all need fucking Jesus. May God have mercy on us all, man. Honestly, that's
Agreed.
literally all what I want to say, because this is just all this darkness, and it's just people that talk like that. And I'm referring to the people that are celebrating this. It's like they're literally demons. I think that they're possessed by demons. There's no prayer can save these people. It's like there's no coexisting with these people, unfortunately. And I don't know. Just may God have mercy on us all, because it's like it's some serious darkness in this fucking world. It's satanic. It really is. It's
I'm
just
glad. No, I agree, and I'm glad that you both said the word that I was hoping that you would say the whole time. And I'm sure you've seen this bumper sticker, but the coexist bumper sticker with all the little shit on it. We can't have this anymore.
No. Yo, straight
I
up,
understand. Huh?
I'm so sorry. Let me do one more rant. Straight up, deport all the illegals. Send Muslims to go live in their own region. This is a Christian nation. That
those
is
people do
fucking it.
not belong here in the
Right?
US.
That is it. Nothing else. We all need to carry guns. We all need to be educated. We all need to take care of one another and look out for one another. That's it. Simple as that. Deport them all, take them out. And look, I'm a Latino myself. Okay. I am saying this mighty and proud. Deport them all. Get this country in order.
Except for you, Ronnie. We want to hold on to you and
Yeah,
Kat.
I was
You know.
born in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, you're all right.
I was born in New York City, so I'm
Okay, great.
She's
Great.
more of a
and
comic.
my parents came here legally, so yeah, I'm good.
You're in. You're in.
My parents are from Brooklyn. Well, my dad came from. What up?
I want the country to fix itself, and I do believe that the only way we're going to do this is truthfully looking at ourselves and introspectively going like, hey, listen, we got a fucking problem. This coexist, this attitude that started in the early 2000s of like, don't judge me, you don't know my story, has progressed to this point of like people who are now transgender mass shooters. Like, maybe we should start judging and shaming in people again. Like, you know, like if you have a radical idea of like, hey, let's put a litter box in a bathroom because like my furry kid might have to take a shit. That's a problem. You know, like we should not tolerate these things. And the only way we're going to do that is by one, first of all, getting involved, and then two, looking at ourselves truthfully in the mirror and as a country and going like, we got to fix, we got some problems. We got to fix them, and we got to fix them right now. But if anybody's got anything else to say, everybody, you know, I appreciate you guys taking the time. You know, this is you know, I came out of a little bit of sabbatical. Hopefully I can get Chris on in the future, and look forward to talking to all the new guests, and you know, hopefully I talk to you guys again real soon.
Talk soon.
For sure.
Everybody, good night.